Hi guys. Welcome to my channel. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel. Top 10 books to read before you die. So make sure to watch the full video. Due to their widespread praise and popularity, you've undoubtedly already heard of the majority of the novels on this list. This quotation would provide a fantastic summary of a bookworm's passion for reading. Few things may bring as much happiness and solace as reading a good book, as any book lover will attest. Nonetheless, every bibliophile believes they are missing out on a magnificent work of art. Too many books, such little time, to quote Frank Zappa. How on earth are you, a bibliophile, going to choose which books to read in the constrained time allotted to us? We will assist you. Your reading list should include the following classics, nonfiction, and young adult works. The top 10 books to read before you pass away. 15. The Hidden History. A group of smart, oddball misfits at a New England college are inspired by a charismatic classics professor to discover a way of thinking and living that is very different from their mundane peers. But their quest for the transcendent takes them off the beaten path and outside the bounds of conventional morality. The Pulitzer Prize-winning author of The Goldfinch has created a modern literary masterpiece with The Hidden History. 14. Cholera in a Time of Love. Fermina Daza and Florentino Ariza experienced a passionate love affair in their youth. Florentino is heartbroken but romantic when Fermina ultimately decides to wed a wealthy doctor. He spends his time in 622 affairs as his business career progresses, but he saves his heart for Fermina. When her spouse finally passes away, Florentino attends the funeral on purpose. He will express his love for Fermina 50 years, 9 months, and 4 days after the first time. 13. A Bluest Eye. In Morrison's critically acclaimed debut book, Pecola Breedlove, an 11-year-old black girl living in a country where the love for its blue-eyed children can destroy all others, begs for her eyes to turn blue. She hopes that this will make her more beautiful, attract more attention, and change the way people perceive her and the world around her. The nightmare at the core of her need and the tragedy of its realization are the subjects of this tale. 12. The Great Oakland. The Great Oakland Powwow is the setting for a magical and jarring award-winning novel that follows 12 Native American personalities who are all attending. These characters are all connected to one another in unexpected ways. An astonishing literary debut places Native American voices front and center before readers' eyes, making it a modern classic. 11. The Color Purple. The Color Purple, a vital literary classic of contemporary America, tells the story of African American women in rural Georgia in the early 20th century. By telling the stories of women's lives through their sorrow and struggle, friendship and growth, resiliency and bravery, The Color Purple broke the taboo surrounding domestic and sexual abuse. Alice Walker's epic, which is incredibly empathetic and masterfully depicted, takes readers on a spirit-uplifting journey toward forgiveness and love. 10. 10th of December. The stories in 10th of December are unsettling, perceptive, and amusing. By their frantic energy, emphasis on what is redeemable in people, and generosity of spirit, they not only entertain and delight, but they also fulfill Chekhov's rule that art should prepare us for sensitivity. Saunders' distinctive synthesis of vivacious prose, profound empathy, and stylistic inventiveness is vividly and adoringly absorbed into the remarkable people that fill the pages of 10th of December. 9. The Day's Remains. The perfect butler and his vanishing, exclusive world in post-World War II. England are the subject of this complex and fascinating novel, The New York Times, by the recipient of the Nobel Prize in Literature. 8. Things That Fail. A famous account of the cataclysmic confrontation between Europe and Africa as it builds a colonial presence on the continent as things fall apart. Things Falls Apart explores one man's futile struggle against the devaluation of his Igbo traditions by British political and religious forces, as well as his despair as his community submits to the powerful new order through the fictional experiences of Okonkwo, a wealthy and fearless Igbo warrior of Umuofia in the late 1800s. 7. Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen is a book that keeps calling to you because it is always current. This work satirizes Georgian England's rigid and shallow class structures and exposes the marriage market there. You might be surprised to learn after reading this that civilization has probably not altered much over time. 6. Never Let Go of Me. The complexities of love, friendship, independence, youth, loss, and acceptance are explored in this science fiction, sci-fi, book by Nobel Prize winner Kazuo Ishiguro. Despite being clones in a dystopian society, the main protagonists in Never Let Me Go have flaws similar to those of ordinary people. One of the best novels to read before you die. This one is an emotional read that offers insightful life lessons. 5. Beloved. It's crucial to read Beloved by Toni Morrison for a variety of reasons. One of them is the fact that it was written by a woman of color, who also happened to be the book's Pulitzer Prize winner. This beloved classic is an examination of the American slave trade. America's troubled past is represented by the agonizing, beloved spirit that accompanies the main character. 4. Things Go Astray. Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe provides an insightful look into African literature and society. In a colonized Africa, the story explores the evolving power structures. Okonkwo, the main character, has a hard time accepting the rules and regulations put in place for his community. Things Fall Apart is one of the best books to read before you pass away, according to bibliophiles from all over the world, since it helps you gain a deeper understanding of what civilization and community are all about. 3. Frankenstein. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley is a hugely significant contribution to literature. It is a strong contender to be the very first science fiction book ever written. Frankenstein, the obsessed scientist who creates the monster, is the center of the story. You will have a lot of inquiries about the ethos and pathos of life after reading this fantastic work of fiction. Who is the true Frankenstein monster will be the most crucial question. 2. The God of Little Things. Arundhati Roy's The God of Little Things should undoubtedly be taken into consideration. If there was only one book to read before you passed away. She won the Booker Prize for her first novel and her first piece of fiction, Roy. It's been called a hauntingly beautiful story on caste taboos and what breaching them entails in rigid, orthodox societies by readers. 1. From To Kill a Mockingbird. Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, a timeless American classic, is extraordinary and incredibly educated in the manner it is written. Through the eyes of Scout, its young and innocent main character, the repressive power structure in America is portrayed. Before you pass away, you should read this book. American civilization would seem uncannily identical to you even now, despite the fact that it was written in the 20th century. So, that's it for today. We hope you enjoyed the video. Use the comments section below to tell us what you think about the video. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of all the latest videos.